Okay, hello Ivan and welcome. Welcome to the IELTS test, and we will have a few questions based
Yes.
about internet. And the
Okay.
first question is, do most people have a computer at your home in your country?
Uh, I don't really know the real statistic, but I believe that most people in this country do not have computers in their home. A lot of factors like financial, geographical location, and traditional beliefs take part in this reason. But I'm pretty sure that there are more people with smartphones in this country than computers.
Is that your answer, Ivan?
Yes.
Okay, that's a pretty good answer. Thank you. Next question, and it's still about internet. And the question is, do you think all information on the internet is true?
No, 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 absolutely not. While information in the internet can be accurate and credible, there are also lots of information that is simply not true and far from the truth. There are a lot of hoax in internet, and the information they said is do not always convey the true facts in the real world. Some people just do not simply care about what they share. They just want to gather as much attention as they want because it will keep the advertising in. So they just focus on creating the most attention gathering information as they can make rather than the real facts.
Okay, that's a great answer as well. Um, okay, next question. How can people find reliable information on the internet?
I think the most common way is to check the credibility of the source based on the reputation and the review of their site. You can also check the sources as whole, like you can look for the information they've published, and if you think that most of the information they shared sounds illogical, they probably are not a good source. And also do not forget to check the references and other sources of the information they published or compare the information with other sources.
Okay, interesting, Ivan. Very good answer indeed. Next question. How has the internet changed the way we live?
Quite significant to some, I think, but not really to others. Like people who had been living and known with internet can use it to help a lot in a lot of aspects in their life. For example, they can use internet to help with cooking, taking care of specific stuff, household maintenance, or even as something as simple like tying a shoe. But it's different matter to those who don't really use internet, like people who live in remote area and do not get internet can live as it is without internet, like tribesmen people, for example.
Right, right. Interesting, interesting. I see. Okay. The last two questions is how has the internet changed the way we work?
I think it's similar to the previous answer to the previous question. Like it's significant to some, but not to others. Like some work, like administration work and office work, or even teaching, can be done by internet alone. They can use online conference, and they don't need to physically go into the workplace. They also pretty use internet pretty much in their work. But other type of work like a farmer in rural area, they can just work without internet as they were as it is without it. So it is significant to some, but still not to others.
Great answer, Ivan. Last question. Do you think the internet is safe for children to use unsupervised?
Oh no, no, I'm heavily against the idea of that. If I have to describe internet is like a land of marshmallows, candies, and ice cream built on top of landmines. Once you step on a landmines, you can set off the whole paradise in ruins. Like once you step into the bad side of internet, there's no coming back from that. So we have to supervise children because there are as much of nasty and non-age friendly information as they are the good ones.
Okay, thank you, Ivan. Those answers were great. I see you have a really great potential on passing this IELTS interview, and we will give you the results in a few days. Thank you, Ivan. Have a good day. Have a good
You're
night.
welcome. Okay, Hanif. So here, I'm going to test how natural you speak your opinion and minds when having a conversation by asking you several questions about media and news. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, Ivan. Go ahead and ask me the questions.
So the first question is, do you believe in everything that you have read in newspapers?
Do I believe everything I have read in the newspaper? I think to me, I don't believe everything I read in the newspaper. Why? It's because some of the newspapers spread fake news. And how can you tell that by fake news? You can tell by their track record on their history. For example, ESPN, they have a lot of fake news spread that has been proven not factual. That's why you have to pick your news sources right before you actually believe in them. Yeah, so in conclusion, I don't believe everything I read in the newspapers.
Okay, that's good. The next question, how do most people get their news in your country?
Oh, how do most people get the news in my country, which is, of course, Indonesia? They get the news in my country. Well, Indonesia, first of all, is a developing country, so it's not a first world country where they can get the news everywhere on the internet and all. Um, but they mostly uh, most of the Indonesian citizens obviously have TVs. Now that's where they get their news as a starter, and some of the people also get their news on the internet. So yeah, we have even though we're a developing country, we are able, Indonesia is able to provide the citizens to get their news from TVs and internet. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's very good answer. So the next question, how do you think people will get their news in the future?
Is this in my country or overall?
You can talk example from your country or an overall if you wish to.
Okay, let's do it according to my country. I think in Indonesia, almost every citizen in Indonesia will be able to get their news from the internet because our developing country is getting better every day, economically wise. And since then, we will be able to be more civilized and get our news from the internet. That's it, I think.
Okay, you're really good at speaking your opinions. Okay, move on to the next question. How has TV has changed our lives?
How has TV changed our lives? I think TV changed our lives by a lot of things. For example, TVs can teach you education. Instead of learning from the books, you can learn it from the TV, where one actor acts to provide education, like for example in maths or in science or in social studies. TVs can also give you teach you how to act because in TVs there are a lot of movies and of course they have to do they're acting in the movies and you can learn from that. You can learn the moves and eye contacts and all the other things. And also TVs can give you news uh, and uh, and that gives you influences the way we think because we have to find the right one. We have to find the right news so we don't get faked by the false news. I think that's it. Thank
Okay,
you.
so we're nearing about our last question. Do you think TV influences the way we think?
Okay, I think TV influence. Yes, of course, I think TV influences the way we think because TV has been a part of our everyday lives. Might be on your TV or on your smartphone. It's the same thing you watch on your screen, and from that, TV gives you content. TV gives you information, and it also influences your mind because there are a lot of contents that will make you believe in somewhat um, possible. I think, yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
So the last question, do you think children should be allowed to watch a lot of TV?
Well, it depends on the parents, if I'm honest. But I think myself, children shouldn't be allowed to watch a lot of TV because they also need to learn, and to learn they need to go to school. And if you watch a lot of TV, you won't be able to learn and go to school. And sometimes you might miss school when you have no guiding from your parents. So I think children should not be allowed to watch a lot of TV. They should have their limitations.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer, Hanif. So, based from that test, you seem to be able to speak your minds quite openly. You also seem to be react quite quickly. You speak quite naturally and casually, and you also think quite critically. Like the previous question, you want to ask whether it is in this country alone or speaking generally. You have natural hesitation that is naturally found when having a conversation. That's really good. So I'm really looking up to your IELTS results later. So thank you very much for the answer.
Okay, thank you too, Irfan.